Patchouli again with another fragrance review, and this time I'm really happy because it's a fragrance that I love, and it's a fragrance from a fellow Canadian, Alfred Sung, a Canadian designer, and it's a beautiful fragrance, and for the price that you pay, I only paid $19.99 Canadian and got this from Shoppers Drug Mart, the big bottle, 100 ml bottle. It's an actual steal, you know, considering how good this fragrance is. In fact, even before I commence, I'll give you the review in one word. This is a luxury soap in a bottle. It's a soapy fragrance. So this is like a soap in a bottle. Here's the presentation. You can see it's a black box with silver grey accents on it. Here's the back, top, front. And I've been using this fragrance for quite some years. It's a wonderful soapy fresh fragrance. And here's the bottle. Now, an interesting thing to note about this fragrance is if you had older versions of this fragrance, then the color of the juice would be purple, violet or purple. But in the new variants, the color of the juice has been turned to blue. And this is the new bottle, that's why the color of the juice is blue. If you have an old bottle, the color of the juice would be purple. Another thing to note is in the new bottle, you have to take off the cap and you get the sprayer and you spray it on. But if you have an old bottle, it has a hole in the cap itself. You don't need to remove the cap. You just press on the top and there's a hole, it comes out. So that's how you can distinguish between old and new bottles. Number one, the color of the juice. Old color is purple, new color is blue. Number two, the cap. In the new cap, you have to take it off and spray. In the old cap, you don't need to take off the cap, just press on top and you can get the juice out. So that's one thing to note. So as you can see, it's a beautiful bottle. In fact, the bottle itself reminds me of a bar of soap. That's the inspiration behind the bottle. This fragrance has been out for a while. It was released in the year 1989. The perfumer for this fragrance is Alfred Sung himself. He's the one who oversees the creation of this fragrance and brought this to life. The bottle designer behind this fragrance is Pierre Dinand. The top notes are listed as bergamot, juniper berries, sage, pepper, Artemisia, caraway, lemon, basil, Galbanum, Petitgrain and Bay Leaf. The heart notes are pine tree needles, Aldehydes, Carnation, Geranium, Caraway, rose, spicy notes and jasmine. Base notes are fir, oakmoss, leather, musk, cedarwood, sandalwood, vetiver and patchouli. The company which markets this fragrance is Revlon Incorporate, Elizabeth Arden Incorporate, which is a subsidiary. And the official intro for this fragrance is, this classic scent reflects the success, style and individuality of the spirited man of today. It is a rich fragrance with a unique composition of crisp citrus top notes, harmonized by warm, rich spices and velvety, sensual musk notes. When you spray it on, as you can see, there's a huge range of notes inside this fragrance. But what you get, I can make out galbanum and petitgrain. Pine tree needles, that accord is very prominent right throughout the life of the fragrance. I get pine tree needle, I get geranium, and then I get fir, oakmoss and a hint of leather, and I get loads of musk out of this fragrance. This is a very musky fragrance, but it's a very well blended fragrance. It's very difficult to pick out individual notes out of this fragrance. It's so well blended. And the entire aura that you get out of this fragrance is the smell of a luxury soap. Let's say you check in into a 5-star hotel, and there are small soaps placed there, and they are luxury soaps because you've checked into a 5-star hotel. So the smell of that soap, that is what you get out of this. It's truly a soap in a bottle. When I use it, throughout the day I get that freshness, as if I've just taken a shower with a luxury soap and I walked out of the shower. That kind of freshness this fragrance gives me. If you see, this is the print ad for this fragrance. Sung Homme, active, intriguing, bold. Describes the fragrance perfectly. And as you can see, the older bottles have a hole in the cap itself, and the color of the juice is purple, and the newer bottles have blue colored juice in them. And this is the product range for this fragrance, and as you can see, there are multiple choices available. You can buy multiple gift sets, and you can even get a soap, because this is actually soap in a bottle. So there's a deo stick, there's an aftershave, there's a shower gel, there's a soap for this fragrance. So you can take your pick, you can choose whatever you like, and it's fairly well available in Canada because it's manufactured in Canada. It's a Canadian designer. I can't say about other places in the world, but it's fairly well available in Canada. And in Canada, it's very easy to find. You can get this big 100 ml bottle for 19.99 Canadians, which is absolutely a steal, because the quality of this fragrance is excellent. Think of it as a soap with the major note of pine in it, pine and fir. A soap with pine and fir. That's what it is. This fragrance reminds me of the following fragrances. Drakkar Noir. You get that vibe. You'll get that fir and pine vibe that's also present in Drakkar Noir. I get it from Sung Homme as well. And then Prada Amber Pour Homme. Prada is well known for making soapy fragrances. So the only connection to Prada, Pour Homme and Mugler Cologne is the soapy aspect, because this also is a very soapy fragrance to the core. That's why I call it soap in a bottle. I've used it in summers, I've used it in winters, and surprisingly it performs very well in winter as well. It lasts a solid 6 to 8 hours on my skin, and that is excellent performance for a fragrance which is available at 19.99 Canadian dollars. It's excellent. So dear friends, if you're in Canada, if you're in North America, you'll easily find this, and even if you are in other places around the world, get a hold of this fragrance, Sung Homme. It's a perfect soapy fragrance. It will keep you fresh throughout the day. Thank you so much for watching. Shalom.